Welcome to the lesson today. So, we always like to start off the lesson, especially the beginning of the week, with a big question. So, what's our big question this week? Big question was, Mr. Herring still wearing his mask when he's talking? Okay, so our big question, how does geography affect our lives? Well, first we have to think about what is geography? Do we remember? Is it here? It probably is. I know you know. Do you know? You know. You got it. So geography, I'm going to say it anyway, is the study of landforms and the people that live in them. So we are going to especially study, get this, Texas geography. It's going to be really cool. So, do you have anything else to add, Mr. Morales?
No, that was good. That was good. So let's move on to what today's objective is.
Oh yeah, let's go to the objective.
Perfect.
I like objectives.
I'm all about the objective.
Ooh. And if you can't see this, we'll read it to you. I will know how geography affects the way we live in Texas. Oh. So this is going to tell us how this affects the way we live in Texas? That's pretty cool. Okay, so by the end of this lesson, we're going to know exactly how our lives are affected by the geography around us. I cannot wait to get in this lesson and show you how it does. We'll see you in like 2 seconds when we switch frame.
Ready? All right. Hey guys, social studies superstars here. Mr. Herring, myself, Mr. Morales. We are talking about our first lesson. We're going to go over a couple things. Mr. Herring's going to go over those. But we're in Chapter 1, Lesson 1, Locating Texas.
Okay, hey guys. Okay, so, as you notice, right up here, if you're ever lost, you can see, am I on Lesson 1? You should be, especially today. So, we have Locating Texas. Now, before we even go onto the page, I want to show you that up here, you have your vocabulary. We're going to blow it up so you can see it. You have your vocabulary. In this lesson, all of these words will be in the lesson. They will be in the pages, and we're going to talk about them as we find them. So, it will go in order of how you will see them. So let's look at page 1. Or, well, I'm sorry, it is page 36. So if we go down here, where is Texas? Oh, this is kind of cool, guys. Before you go any further, Mr. Morales, guys, do you know what this is called? This right here, this blue text? Do you remember? Maybe? That is a subheading. So this subheading is going to describe what all of this is talking about. Okay, remember that. Very important text feature. Okay, so we see region. It is highlighted yellow, just like it was in the vocabulary box. So, a region is an area with common features, people, and ways of living that set it apart from other areas. What does region mean? Oh. I just read it. Oh, so when it's highlighted in here and then you read, it's going to explain what it's about. That's the definition. And that is how you find the definition. Okay? And then we see this glorious graphic feature over here of a map. And we have regions of the United States. Okay? So, oh, Mr. Morales, look at that. I see a number 1. And guys, what did we say in our instructions? When you're reading through, answer all of the questions or activities in the pages. Number 1, that is the start of your activities. Interpret the map in which geographic region in Texas
It's all good.
Interpret the map in which geographic region is Texas located. circle the region's name on the map legend, okay? So this is the map, as you know. This is also the map. Where's the map legend? It says it right there, legend. You found it, good job. Okay, so you're going to answer by circling one of these. You have a circling tool on the left side of your screen. You can see it right now on your own page. Let's show them where it is. Over here on the left here, we have our writing tool. That is what you'll click, and then you will go back and circle which region you think Texas is in. I'm not going to give you that answer because I want you to find it out on your own. But you will come over here and circle one of these, okay? Alrighty. Let Mr. Morales introduce our next set of vocab.
Sure. So, this is talking about regions, right? And of course, when we're talking about regions, like Mr. Herring was just explaining, it is commonalities or similarities in parts of the United States in this case. But let's break it down a little bit more. Let's talk about what those might be, okay? So we're going to switch pages. So here we are, page 40, and we're looking at what are these called again? What are these giant pictures called?
So this is a graphic feature called an illustration. Now remember, there's a difference. This is an illustration. Someone drew this or created it. A picture is from like a camera or the internet, something that shows a real image. Okay, that's the difference. So this is a really well done illustration showing the different regions and, well, not regions, my apologies, showing the water system of Texas.
So this one specifically is titled Water Sources of Texas. I know it's cut out, but in your book it won't be, right? Now, for the sake of our lesson today, let's cover two of these. Now, look at this. This looks like it would be almost a river or a lake, but it's completely underwater. So what would be a nice
Underground.
term? Underground. So let's just name it groundwater. So groundwater, a source of water that is underneath the surface. And of course you will read that in the text.
Yes, you will.
Now, the second one we're going to cover from all of these different features is a spring. Now, a spring, as you can see here, is groundwater that has made its way to the surface. So, spring up from the ground. Kind of makes sense, right? I think so. Maybe. How's that? Good?
Yeah.
I think it's good, right? All right, so let's move forward. We're ready to move forward, Mr.
I think we're ready to go.
So, we're going to switch pages.
Going to 42 and 43.
Now, we have a couple more vocabulary words to cover in this lesson. So, again, remind us one more time.
So, this, again, is an illustration. That means someone drew it. Does this look like it's a picture? No. No. But a picture is of something real.
So, this one specifically has a title. Landforms of Texas. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about landforms. And you can see some that you already recognize. Mountains and ocean and hills. But for the sake of our vocabulary terms today, let's talk about two of these. Actually, let's talk about three of them. Let's talk about plateau. Now, a plateau, as you can see, is up way higher than this plane here. So a plateau must be an area of land that is elevated or raised up from another area or the area around it. And now if you look here, it's escarpment. Now it's pointing at something, but the escarpment is the cliff or the very steep slope that surrounds the plateau. That basically signifies the end of the plateau. Now, what was another one we were going to hit here?
So
Mr.
another
Gary?
one that's pretty cool is barrier islands. So that first word barrier, a lot of you play video games that may use this word, barrier. It means it's a shield. It's blocking something. It's keeping something from getting to something else. Well, barrier islands do the same thing. They protect the mainland and especially the shores from really bad waves that come in out of the ocean. So during a hurricane or tsunami, these barrier islands will take some of the brunt of the water. All that water will hit them before it hits here, protecting some of this land.
Man, that was a really good explanation. That was really good. So, let's see if Texas has some different landforms and see if we can pick some out, right? Okay, so we're still on page 43 here.
How many different landforms do you think Texas has? Think about that as we pull this up.
So, as you can see, we have barrier islands, which is what Mr. Herring was just discussing, but we also have escarpment, we have plateau, and we have plains. Now, we do have other things as well that are located where exactly? In the legend. In the legend. The map legend is your ultimate friend when trying to read a map, okay?
Yes, it is.
Now, the red area, of course, it is all coordinated by color. The red area is the mountainous area.
Yep.
And in Texas, there's not a ton of mountains, but
they're there.
yeah, a nice little corner. Nice little corner of mountains. And then we have basins. Now, basins we have not talked about.
We haven't. So, guys, basins are bowl-like depressions. And we're not just talking about a little hole in the ground. We're talking miles and miles and miles long depressions in the ground. Do we know what caused those? I bet we'll find out.
I'm sure we will. So, let's move to the next thing. Now, we're looking for yellow, which would be plateaus. So we have some up here, but we have some here, and we have one that is actually named on the map called the Edwards Plateau, which is something we will discuss later on. And then the last two to finish it out are hills, which are here in orange, and then the plains, and we have plains all over Texas.
All right, guys, so in conclusion,
Yes.
we had a lot of information taken today. Don't worry, though. You have plenty of time to process it, think about it. It's okay. If you have any questions about it, you know what to do. We have a 10 a.m. Zoom, and we have a 5:30 p.m. Zoom. So if you have questions, you can hit us up then, or you can message us on Google. You can email us, or you can dojo us.
So for this lesson, you have the reading, you have the got it, locating Texas, and then you also have the quiz named Locating Texas as well. Guys, this is not the only time we're going to be talking about this. We will always be coming back to landforms, we'll always be coming back to maps and legends and plateaus and basins and all of the vocabulary words you were introduced to today. But for now, I think that's the end.
I think that's the end.
See you guys later. I did not press record. I had not started the recording, and I was still talking, and this will end up at the end of the video in the blooper reel, I'm sure. So, all right, guys. Take two for this closing. Okay, now, cow.
And then as far as, let's see, we need to make sure that we do... Cut. Where am I going?
I don't know. You were going, and I was like, I can't really pick up where he's going.
I